Welcome back to Morning Joy, where truth matters. I'm your host, Keith Downey, and very excited to introduce our guest today, this Monday. We've got music producer and DJ, Robbie Rivera. Good morning, Robbie.
Good morning, Keith. Thank you for having me here today. How are you?
I'm doing as best I don't know if you could try and tell my throat. I've been sick for the last week, and now it's finally. I don't sound like a different person anymore, so it's beautiful thing. But so yeah, Robbie, I've seen you all over Instagram. For those that maybe don't follow you on Instagram or on social media, how would you explain the music that you play or you produce?
Great question, Keith. I've always tried to compose music that will make you get ready to do something, have a lot of energy. And that's how I perform my sets as well when I'm DJing, around the US or Europe or wherever I'm booked. And I also like the latest music I've been composing. I'm making it more cinematic, more beautiful. It's all inspired by God, and I'm trying to somehow bring people back to church after they listen to my music. It's a hard one to do, but I'm trying.
Well, it's great that you're doing that. You're using your talent to not only bring in people back to church, but maybe people that just aren't of like the church going type.
Right.
Which leads me to my next question. So you have a couple different music labels that you have. Obviously, one is Juicy Music, which is kind of everything dance, but you also have a Catholic label, Cruciformed.
Yeah.
What's that all about?
Yeah, Cruciformed Music. Well, it's to tell you the story. What happened was, throughout my life, I was, 20 something years, I was producing music and DJing all over the world and running Juicy Music, all about DJs and dance music. And then my life made a bit of a switch, I guess, and I came back to my faith, and a few years ago, and learned how to be Catholic. I didn't know much. I was baptized and did all the sacraments when I was young, but I didn't practice my faith the way I'm supposed to do it. And then one day I was at adoration, and I was praying there, and I asked Jesus, "Can you please, connect me with some priest, because I want to have a priest as a friend that I can talk to and just be my buddy." And then one day I'm on the road and I'm in a plane and I'm looking at social media. I'm looking at Instagram, and on my messages, not my messages. Well, somebody had posted, which was a priest, and he was working out with my music, and he tagged me, and it was Father Stephen Gabberry from the Archdiocese of Arkansas. And I sent him a message, "Hey, Father, what's up? Thanks for supporting my music." And we just started talking and talking, and now I consider him one of my best friends, and we talk every day. And it's been a few years already, and we started talking, and then we became buddies, and helped me get through a lot of troubles and all these things that I went through. And then that led on to making a new label for Catholic music. It all started with the saints. I was reading a lot about the saints and watching movies about the saints to form that. And one day I was learned about St. Ignatius of Loyola, and I saw his movie, and I read a bit about it, but it was more the movie and his suffering, how he came back to the faith and all that. And then I ran to my studio and I composed some music inspired by his life. And then I did the same thing with when I learned about Saint Cecilia and then Joan of Arc, and now I composed one about the life of Saint Francis. So that, between doing that music and showing it to Father Stephen and talking to my wife about it, we decided, let's do a music label to help support Catholic artists, and also to try to evangelize somehow with the music. And then other artists started popping up, like Cassian Murr, Enoch, and Mercy Divine. So it's a little project that I had that's growing, and God willing, it'll grow until something beautiful where people can listen to the music. And also the podcast, we develop a podcast with Father Stephen Gabriel where I compose music for the Sunday Gospel and try to he reads the Gospel under reflection, and I try to add cinematic music to it just to make it more like a little movie that you hear every Sunday. And that's growing as well.
Yeah, I've listened to it. It's beautiful. It's inspiring, and yeah, you had Father Stephen there, kind of giving the I don't call it a homily, but yeah, giving the gospel reading there. So
Yeah.
you mentioned just a little bit. I'm curious now. You mentioned you're essentially a cradle Catholic. That's I mean, my own story is that I was Catholic, but it wasn't until like a pivot or like a trigger point where it was
Yeah.
like, okay, I need this. What was that for you? What made you go, okay, this is what I need in my life. I need my Catholic faith.
Oh, it happened. It happened like right, very like it happens to a lot of people. So okay, so for 20 years, I lived an amazing life. I was touring. I was with my wife, and we lived in many places. We had two homes, one in Europe, one in Miami. We had, when it comes to material stuff, and then my DJ career, I had residencies in Las Vegas, in Ibiza, Spain. I mean, everything was amazing, when it comes to work. And my prayer life was still there. And but I wasn't attending mass. I wasn't. To be honest, I did not know much about the sacraments as well. So one day, things started going bad. My career started to take a dip. Pretty fast. It was like nobody wanted to book me that much. I didn't get hired a lot to perform, and then suddenly that started slowing down very fast. And then one day, I was in a really, really tough situation. Let's call it a financial hardship. And I find myself literally running from where I lived in Miami down the street where the parish was there, which I didn't go much. And I just ran over there, and I went to the Blessed Sacrament, which I didn't know much about, but I knew it was important. So I went in there and I asked Lord, okay, what do I do? What do I do? And then started going to mass there as well, sometimes during the day. But that, I still didn't know about the sacraments and anything like that. But I knew that I can't do anything by myself. So then things kept getting worse and worse and worse and worse with my career, really bad. And then suddenly we left Miami and we are now in Georgia, in Marietta, Georgia. And the Lord brought us here. And now I still do the same thing. I still tour. I still do all that stuff. But now I find myself going to daily mass, being an altar server, going to the Blessed Sacrament every week, just doing a lot of things with the church and having a community there. And I love it. I love it, Keith. It's a
That's
beautiful
awesome.
thing, and surrendering. I just surrendered, man. That's basically what happened. I learned about surrendering, and there's a lot more to that, but yeah, that's what happened.
Wow, what a great story. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, I think if we were to just surrender, it would make all of our lives just a little bit easier. You know, it's tough to
Yeah,
do,
yeah,
but my
it's
goodness,
yeah, yeah, it's tough to do, and I also I did Bible year with Father Mike, Catechism and with Father Mike, so I got just I just starting to learn so much, and you know I just learned a lot about how prayer can help you, and
yeah,
I've been a person that for 20 something years I was suffering with anxiety and depression and with medication for a long time. We're talking 20 years, and
mm,
I don't take any medication at all.
wow,
I could say that God healed me when it comes to being suffering from depression and anxiety, and the medicine is church, bro.
yeah, it is. It's a hospital for the sick, for sure. Wow.
Yeah.
So kind of going back to your music, has there been a point where your Catholic faith has inspired the way you create music?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like when I'm composing music now, I know not to work with terrible, horrible lyrics.
Hmm.
To not to try to make music where it's going to inspire somebody that's listening to me in a club, or listening to my radio show, whatever like that. And yeah, it does. I do pray, I pray a lot before composing music. I try to compose beautiful music and inspiring music.
Hmm.
And sometimes, I'll produce something that the way Father Stephen Garberry tells me, make a banger, man, make it a lot of energy, use the gifts that the Lord gave you, when it comes to, if you're inspired to make something really hard that makes you want to work on it, you can just do it.
Yeah. So you've been in the industry for quite a while. Have you encountered any situations where maybe something has conflicted with your Catholic beliefs?
Oh yeah, yeah, very much. That was a whole situation that thanks to Father Stephen, he helped out to get through it. So there's a lot of events that I don't agree with anymore. The way that, what they're promoting, or the way, the events are, just the way they're done. So I don't do those anymore. It's been a very interesting ride, when I, showing my faith, on social media, and when I'm on the road. A lot of beautiful things have happened. A lot of random, people in the club will talk to me and ask me questions about the faith. Even though I'm not a pro, but I do my best to, to say what I can, about following Jesus. So yeah, that's been really, really cool, and that happens a lot. Yeah, when I'm traveling.
I can see it being tempting to want to be part of these events because, yeah, this is a gig, but then you see that something is contrary to the Catholic beliefs and you're able, God willing, you're, nope, sorry, I can't do this. And that is a witness in itself. So that's awesome. And then the fact that you are also there for people that are coming up, that people are hungry for something.
Yes.
They're hungry for the Lord, but they just don't know. So it's
Right.
incredible. Are you going to be staying for our after show clubhouse?
Yeah, I'll stay a bit. I have another meeting in a while, but yeah, I'll hang out.
No worries. Yeah. So yeah, if anybody listening, what is the after show clubhouse? It's a way for you to hop on after the show on YouTube or Facebook and actually kind of, relax a little bit and talk with us and even Robbie. So if you have any questions, comments, feel free to jump in. It's great. It's inclusive. I'm just kidding. Well, it is inclusive. But, hey, if this is you leaving because you're listening to Mass right after the show, please pray for us. Otherwise, we'll see you in the After Show Clubhouse on Facebook or YouTube. Facebook, it's Morning Joy Show. YouTube, GRN Online. So search for us. But if we don't see you there, we'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Central, 7 a.m. Eastern. And if this is us parting ways, God bless. And make it a joyful day. We'll either see you tomorrow or we'll see you in the After Show Clubhouse. We'll see you.
This has been Morning Joy, where truth matters, hosted by Keith Downey. Take some joy with you today. Visit grnonline.com/joy to listen again, share a segment, or answer the question of the day. That's grnonline.com/joy.